I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
All right, it's Thanksgiving dinner. I'm just gonna run through the dishes that I made. So here we have that eggplant dish again, the silken tofu, stir-fried lobster. These are actually king oyster mushrooms. Here's a clay pot rice, crab, green beans and shrimp. Here's a bosam, samjang, shrimp paste, kimchi, garlic and Korean peppers. So this is how you want to drink wine. I'm not a connoisseur, I'm not a savant, but I definitely want to learn more about drinking wine. If you don't think this is the proper way, you can always correct me. So similar to blooming coffee, right? You get some air in there. When you do this part, you want to keep the wine glass planted. Afterwards, you pick it up, you want to smell. This is a random bottle from 2016. It's not anything crazy. Give it a smell, take a little sip, and when you do that, you're gonna swirl it around your mouth and coat your mouth. And then you take your first official sip. Pretty good. I like it. All right, back to the Wagyu preparations. So here I have this grated white onion. Since it's Wagyu, I want to keep the side dishes more Japanese, if that makes sense. And then here I have these beautiful heads of garlic that I've peeled and cleaned. And we're gonna do some garlic chips. Here is that beautiful sirloin side A5 Wagyu. This is 1.735 pounds and $99.99 per pound. So the reason why I didn't order the treasure box at Futago in the New York vlog is because I knew I was going to be eating super high quality A5 Wagyu back in Chicago. So obviously it's gonna be much more expensive at a restaurant. $173.48 gets you this much Wagyu. You're not getting this much at a restaurant for this price. You're gonna be paying double, if not 3 times. This beautiful steak. Look at this thing. Look at the marbling. Are you kidding me, bro? So many levels to this shit. This is actually unreal. You pay for what you fucking get, bro. Can't tell me otherwise. All right, the intermission is over. About to fry these up a little bit in some olive oil. Gonna dress this up. I'm gonna cut this fat cap off and I'm gonna use that to oil the pan. Pretty much all fat. Look at that, it's like butter. It's like I'm holding butter. Just look at that fat rendering right now, man. All right, we're gonna do cubular cuts. Hit it with a little black pepper. We're gonna do garlic right on top. Just melts. The grated onions You can kind of dip in the ponzu. So it's been about 5 days now since I got the tattoo. He instructed me to leave the Tegaderm on for 5 days and then just moisturize every hour for the next 3 weeks, per usual. Today, we are going to the Bulls-Hornets game. It's going to be the first Bulls game since they've changed their roster. Just made all of these reforms. So it's gonna be a really good game. I don't know if you keep up with basketball, but the Hornets are a very fun team to watch. Very talented. Like, I'm ready to see Bridges fucking poster. Like, I mean, I'm from Chicago, but I still want to see him poster someone. Same goes with Levine. I want to see him poster someone too, because those two are like two of the bounciest players in the league. They literally have springs in their feet. Just fueling up on some gas at Costco, and then we're gonna hit a dispo to pick up some pre-rolls. I think I've mentioned it before, but I'm really lazy, so I pretty much only buy pre-rolls. I'm too lazy to roll it myself. And then I just don't trust like picking up off the streets anymore. I don't know how credible what I've read on the internet is about like fentanyl being laced in marijuana. Just because like intuitively, when you put on like a business model lens, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you ever lace marijuana with fentanyl? Like, you want your customers to return and buy more. Because what I've seen is that like the marijuana being laced with fentanyl is coming from certain dispensaries in different parts of the country. But again, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you ever do that? If you want to consume fentanyl, why don't you just consume fentanyl by itself? Got a Heine and the Zaza. Bro, we just made it to the United Center. The Uber driver thought he was Formula One or some shit, bro. He was whipping that motherfucker for no reason. Like, calm down. Literally sitting in traffic.
Kelly Jr. checking in for the Hornets.
Oh, he is butt naked.
Green checking in.
Just got back to the Bribbo from the Bulls game. Very fun time. I don't know why, but both the Uber driver and the Lyft driver, like to and from, they were just zooming for no reason. They thought this was Fast and Furious 10 or some shit. Like, calm the fuck down, bro. It's a very fun game. I mean, both teams have a common denominator, and that's a ball brother. So you could tell who's the more polished of the two. I don't know if you can tell that I'm buzzing off the Zaza, but about to smack this Chinese American food and call it night. So. Easily the best diptyque candle scent, hands down. So this is the winter pickups portion of the video, probably why you clicked on the video. I don't know what it is with the word pickups, but it's just like a buzzword almost. It manipulates the algorithm. You throw it in your title and the views just run up. It's equivalent to when you say like go for a walk in front of a dog, like their ears just perk up. It's insane. We're gonna start with the apothecary, I think that's how it's pronounced, home goods, move our way to the accessories, and then end off with the apparel / outerwear. So, I made a stop at Malangoet's. That's how I pronounce it, Malangoet's. I don't think that's right, but it just sounds correct, if that makes sense. I purchased a few things, but this is the only new item, and it is basically a sampler of the candles. So the cannabis, the dark rum, the leather. I've tried the leather candle before, big fan. Cannabis, I used their perfume, great scent in my opinion. Dark rum, I've yet to try. The beautiful thing about Malangoet's is that if you like a certain scent, it carries through all of their products, and you can get it as a perfume, you can get it as like a body wash, a candle, like that's just awesome. And yeah, you guys know I love my candles. This time of the year where it's cold and dark, a candle just sets the vibe right, sets you in a different type of mood, really. I made a stop at Le Labo to replenish my shampoo, but I also picked up the Santel 33 body lotion. Let me just say, Santel has quickly replaced Creed Aventus as that like F-boy scent. When I smell it on the street, it's so distinct, I can tell immediately that they're wearing Santel. This was very expensive for body lotion, $72 for 8 fluid ounces. So this isn't my everyday lotion. I have a separate Le Labo lotion that I put on every day after I shower. This is just going to be for when I go out to see friends or whatever the case. Lather this all over my body and yeah, perfuming body lotion. What did Keem say? I don't hate the trends, but I don't like to feed them. Here we are. Ending off the apothecary home goods, I made a stop at Notre. I feel like I'm always at Notre now. Notre has recently started carrying Malangoet's as well as like water spelled backwards and like some of those other brands that I'm a big fan of. Here I have the eucalyptus hand and body wash. I wanted to pick this up in New York, but carrying a big 16 fluid ounce solution through TSA is just not practical whatsoever. I also grabbed the rum bar soap. I typically don't use bar soap because I have like a loofah, but time to time bar soap feels really nice. And then this, I guess, is considered like more of a replenishment. This is the eucalyptus deodorant. I've tried this before in the past. It's a roll-on deodorant and it's very neutral and just like natural smelling. Okay, accessories. I guess we'll start with what I picked up in New York, which is from Rick Owens. You would have seen, I brought you guys to the store and showed you guys me trying it on because I had them put it on hold and whatnot. But here is that Rick Owens cashmere wool hood in the black colorway. This was very expensive, extremely expensive. I actually felt really guilty after buying it just because I fall victim to mental accounting. So when I see this price tag, I think to myself, what else can I purchase with this lump of money? But upon further evaluation, I was wearing this in New York and it was mad brick out, bro, like brick as fuck. And this just really kept me warm, very functional, and it adds just like a whole nother layer to your outfit. I've gotten several compliments and inquiries, both like in person, online, asking me, you know, what is this? What brand? Where'd you get this? So on and so forth. This comes in a few different colorways, like a cream off-white, a green, I think a red. The sales associate at Rick Owens mentioned that there was a red colorway. I opted for black just because I want the most wearable color, and since I'm shelling out this much bread, I better get my wears in, you feel me? This is just a winter staple, and I don't see this falling out of my wardrobe in the years to come even. Like, this is just an amazing pickup and I'm so happy with it. The quality, the feel, everything. Insane. The next pickup I have is from HBX. It is a store based in Hong Kong and it's another piece of headwear. So right here I have a Stussy balaclava. I think that's how it's pronounced, or you can call it a ski mask, whatever you wish. But story behind this is I really wanted another piece of headwear. I feel like the Rick Owens is really nice, but I have to be like a little more careful with it because I spent so much money on it. I don't know. So this, I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw Jordan Vickers wearing this. I'll show a picture. And I was like, damn, that's pretty sick. I'm a big fan of Stussy. I've always been. And I look up this balaclava, and oddly enough, there's like resale value. I've seen it selling from anywhere between 100 to 150 and even like $200. I paid, I believe, $45 shipped. I don't know if it's still available on the website. I've worn this once and I've gotten some weird looks, definitely, but I feel like once you see like the Stussy embroidery, you know that I'm just trying to bust a fit. It's very playful. I'm not here to rob you or hold up the place, you know what I'm saying? Also, this thing is insanely warm. Like, it covers your entire face and your neck. I remember just like sweating after having this on, so it gets kind of toasty naturally. Ending off the accessories, I have here 2 pairs of gloves, dark brown, black, both Uniqlo, size medium, touchscreen compatible, and for $15 a pop, they've really served their purpose. I think these are a extremely cheap alternative to some Margiela or Rick gloves. I feel like at some point I'm gonna cave in and buy the real deal, but for now, this is sort of like a placeholder. I think gloves are also something that just add another layer to your outfit. These subtle details that when paired well and paired correctly can just bring your outfit to like the next level. Moving on to the clothing pickups. Right here, I have a blank black hoodie, very heavy, no drawstrings. This is the Yeezy Gap hoodie in the black, size medium. So the story behind this is I was out running errands with one of my friends and he kept asking me like, where's the Gap store? Where's the Gap store? I want to return something. And I'm like, what could you possibly have from Gap that you need to return? And he mentioned that he bought the Yeezy hoodies in like various colors, and then like the mediums, the larges. He liked the large more and he wanted to return the medium. And I said, wait a minute, how much was it again? 95? Okay, like let me try it on. I try it on. I am in love with this hoodie. I have a thinner black Balenciaga hoodie, and then I have that black Champion reverse weave that I purchased off Amazon. This is a nice in between. It's heavy, it's thick, it's sleek, jet black, and I just love that there's no drawstrings. I love the crop body. I love the heavyweight. The hood fits very nice on my big ass head. Just a really great hoodie. I think this is by far the best color. Cannot go wrong with black, and I'm just gonna get a lot of wears out of this. Quality is insane. Next pickup, I have here a goose down puffer jacket from the 70s. I picked this up at Raggedy Threads in New York, and this thing is just awesome. This is just an awesome brown puffer jacket. Look at the cuffs, like pristine condition, granted how old the jacket is. I like this varsity collar. Aside from the back of this collar, there's really no signs of wear. And yeah, the zippers are nice and smooth. They remind me of the zippers that Helmet uses, actually. And I just love the cuffs. Had they gone with the same like varsity like collar on the cuffs, I probably wouldn't have picked this up. But for $120, like an actual piece of outerwear, this is just a no-brainer. I had to pick it up. Lastly, but not leastly, I have here a vintage military trench. And this trench has become my favorite piece of outerwear. This is typically not something I would gravitate towards. I don't see myself wearing these like longer pieces of outerwear just because I'm not that tall and I don't want to wear things that aren't gonna flatter my physique. I don't need to wear things that are gonna make me look shorter or whatever the case, but let me just say, when I put this thing on, I just feel like a total badass. Like, it just gives off like detective vibes. Like when I was in New York, everybody just had like a long trench that they just threw on, whether they were walking their dog or going to the grocery store. This thing is insanely warm, insanely functional. All of the details just make sense. This was an $85 trench, and I think this was the biggest steal that I've come across like in a very long time. The color is amazing. The inside is lined with wool, and you can detach it so that if it's not as cold out, you can wear a thinner jacket, because this thing is heavier than my blanket. It's so heavy. There's a belt attached to the waist to tighten, and I've gotten compliments on the street. People have come up to me telling me it's a sick trench, it looks good, the color is insane. And yeah, I mean, it just speaks for itself. At the collar, you can fasten it. There's a button to fasten the collar similar to my helmet bomber. When I button up the collar, it reminds me of that anime character from My Hero Academia. I think his name is like Tsunagu Hakamata. He wears like a blue jacket that covers like half of his face almost. When I tried this on at Raggedy, the sleeves fit perfect, which told me that this was the intended fit. I can wear this buttoned, unbuttoned. There's a fishtail on the back. Every detail on this just makes sense. There's a couple stains here. Previous owner probably caught a couple bodies. This is military wear after all, but yeah. All right, I'm gonna end off the vlog here. Just for transparency, I recently archived a few of my videos. I rewatched them and I just felt like they didn't resonate with me. They didn't reflect where I am now as a content creator. What can I say? I fall victim to hindsight bias. You know, when I watch an old vlog and all I hear is that annoying ass like lo-fi wallpaper music, that shit just completely turns me off to it and I just want to fucking exit out, you get me? So one of your favorite videos may or may not have been archived. In addition, I also hid my subscriber count, and the reason for this isn't because I'm trying to catfish motherfuckers to think like I have a bigger following and subscribe and whatnot. I've just been so fixated on that number and just like the analytics of the channel that it's become very toxic, and I just don't think that that number should carry as much weight that it does. I don't think the subscriber count or views per video should matter that much. I think, you know, as a new viewer, you should just come to the channel, click on a video that might interest you, and just judge the content, really. And yeah, when I see that number, it's so frustrating because I just feel like the effort that I put into my videos doesn't translate to that subscriber count. Like, I don't know what's going on, if you guys are gatekeeping the channel, if YouTube's gatekeeping the channel. Someone's gatekeeping something. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know why I'm not further along, but what can you do? Control what you can control, right? Segueing from the clothing pickups, I recently had a viewer, and let me just go on a quick tangent here. I don't think I've ever told this story, but when I was living in Tokyo, this was a 5 a.m. night, so I was out clubbing all night. I go to the Nependis Augie drop and I run into Gizmo, who is another YouTuber. He has his own brand, whatever, right? And I recognize him from Ken's videos, and the first thing he says to me is, "Oh, you're one of Ken's fans." And I was sick to my stomach, bro. I was almost vomited in my mouth because I'm not his fucking fan. Like, that's goofy, you know? You guys aren't my fans. You guys are viewers and you guys are subscribers to the channel. This is a collective space. This is somewhere where we just come to hang out. So like that fan dynamic is just like so corny to me. Anyway, this viewer asked me to pretty much forecast what I anticipate buying in the future, prospective grails, if you will. Personally, I feel like I share so much from up here already. Like, I can't share like what I plan on buying. Like, I'm sorry, you know, that's just how the cookie crumbles. On Grailed, I don't know if you guys are familiar, they've allowed people to publicly show their favorited items unless you decide to hit private, which I've done. And the reason is because the items that I'm gunning for are so hard to get that like the last thing I need is competition, you know? And I believe in the old saying, actions speak louder than words, so why not show you the item when I physically have it in hand instead of talking about hypotheticals, what if, make believe. Like, I'm not gonna start listing off like Issei Miyake parachute bomber, riot, like Raf Simons, like just things that are unrealistic or almost unattainable. And this is no knock to any of my peers or anybody that's done like wish lists, like Grail content. This is just how I view it, and this is my channel, so I get to kind of say whatever the fuck I want, right? So yeah, I will be taking a little bit of a break to kind of focus on myself mentally, physically, tend to my hobbies, rekindle some of these interests. My record player's been sitting there collecting dust. I have not picked up any new vinyls in quite some time now. 2 of my plants actually withered away and died. Brought my film camera with me to New York and I didn't take a single flick, which is just pathetic. And I haven't been to the gym as much as I'd like to be. I haven't really picked up a book to read in a while. I haven't really been cooking as much at home, although I do have like recipes that I intend to kind of experiment with. I want to just take some time to, you know, work on like other projects like that Helmet Lane collection video, take photos for my clothing page on Instagram. And yeah, I just need to take some time to figure out what I want to do with the channel, what direction. I'll be honest, I've considered just stop posting because I feel like I've fallen so short from where I expected to be in terms of goals that it's just unmotivating, uninspiring, and just kind of, I don't know how else to say it. I'm just trying to level up. My Chrome glasses should be in by the time I come back. I ordered a new MacBook. I'll be getting a new mattress. Maybe I'll come back slimmer. Maybe I'll have a little booting, you know? Who knows? Who knows what's in store? Anticipate the living in Chicago content to continue. Anticipate some food content. And yeah, I just challenge everyone to pick up a new hobby or interest, diversify yourself, add some things to your bag, and I'll see you sometime next year.